In today's video, I'm going to share with you the most efficient way to make millions of dollars for the upcoming DLC. The first thing to do is a payphone hit. Now, in order to access this, you will have to have an agency and have completed 3 security contracts. Once you've done so, you could call up Franklin, request a payphone hit, and complete it. These are simple assassination missions where you have one or multiple targets that you'll have to take out, as well as completing a specific challenge. If you do both successfully, you can earn $85,000, and they usually take no more than 5 minutes to complete. Next, head over to your nightclub and make sure your nightclub popularity is fully maxed out so that you can earn $50,000 through the wall safe every in-game day or 48 minutes. If you happen to own multiple technicians and own multiple businesses in the game, you could also assign your technicians to source specific product to make extra money per hour, but that's not required. If you do decide to do that, make sure to assign a technician to cargo and shipments. That requires a CEO warehouse or a hangar, sporting goods, which requires a bunker, South American imports, which requires a Coca-Cola lockup, pharmaceutical research, which requires a blue stuff lab, and then cash creation, which you'll need to own a counterfeit cash factory for. If you assign those 5 technicians to those 5 businesses, they will source you $50,000 every single hour, assuming you have the equipment upgrade. But now that that's set up, it's now time to head into a Cayo Perico heist, which of course is the best way to make money in the entire game. If you need help completing the heist, I'll leave my link to my guide in the description down below. The heist will take anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. So in that time, make sure that you do at least 2 more payphone hits. Now for the very first heist, assuming you get the elite challenge and a decent primary target, you should be making $1.3 to $1.4 million. And of course, because you're doing it solo, it means you will have a 2.5 hour cooldown. So in the meantime, I suggest completing the 2 time trials for the week if you haven't already. Of course, in order to do the HSW time trial, you will have to be on a new gen console, but if you aren't, it's okay. You can still do the regular time trial, which will earn you $100,000. Doing all the time trials should take about 20 to 30 minutes, so that means that you could also do another payphone hit after completing them all. Once that's done, you could then go AFK for a couple hours. The way I personally do it is I head over to my CEO office, go into the interaction menu, head over to office decor, and then preview one of the different office decors. When I'm in that preview section, I'm allowed to go AFK, meaning that I can put down my controller, walk away, and it's going to keep me in that game session just as long as I stay in that screen. Doing that's important because it means that you'll still be able to produce nightclub product as well as receive money in your nightclub wall safe. After about 2 hours going AFK, you could then return and then finally finish off the process with doing one more Cayo Perico heist, which if you've done right after the 2.5 hour cooldown, you will be able to activate hard mode, which does boost all loot by 10%, so you get a 10% bonus in payout, as well as the elite challenge will then be worth $100,000 instead of just $50,000. Once again, in that time, you should be able to fit in another 3 payphone hits, once before you start the Cayo Perico heist and then 2 throughout at the very least. And then to wrap up the grind, you could collect $200,000 from your nightclub wall safe. And with that entire process, you should have made $4+ million with really only 2 to maybe 3 hours of active grinding. Now in my case, I ended up making closer to $5.5 million because I ended up selling off my nightclub goods. So if you also are in that position where you have at least $1 million worth of nightclub stock and you want to sell it off, feel free to do that as well, as it's going to be a great time to collect that money before we get into the upcoming DLC. So far, it's been estimated that the DLC will cost anywhere between $20 to $40 million, considering we're getting a new jet, we're getting upgrades on multiple vehicles, and a lot more than that. So now is a great time to be grinding out some money so that you're able to afford all of the new content that comes out. And if you'd like to see a guide on how you can make $5 or $10 million in a 24-hour time span, make sure to check out my guides linked in the description down below. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.